So I think for a guy, who's coming from an Alex Atkins system, even though he hasn't been playing under Alex Atkins for the last few years, I assume it's going to be an easier transition for him. But at the minimum, Perry, if this guy doesn't start right away, he's the kind of guy that if you do have an injury, you don't have to go into that pool of young offensive linemen that you want to protect right now. I mean, think about all the young guys like Estes, right? Or Estes is one of the backups right now who I think could get serious playing time. And if you look at what he was doing when Dylan Gibbons wasn't playing in spring because he's a veteran, he needs his time off, he needs to get healthy, right? They would have Estes come in and be that next starting guy. That's who the next man up was. And we'll certainly get into that more into the offensive depth chart. But with Emmanuel specifically, a guy who has starting experience at left guard, and really he does have more of a guard body than he does a tackle body. This is a guy who played tackle out of necessity for Charlotte, right? He will absolutely raise the floor for this team. And I think for Alex Atkins, this just shows what kind of recruiter he is. We've seen all the players he's been able to bring in who are young guys who he's established relationships in through high school. We saw how close he was to potentially landing Amarius Mims, who, although he didn't land him, Florida State Seminoles were the first team to get in the door for him. So
the only team,
the only team. Yeah. The great reminder. But for this kid, it's not gonna be an Amarius Mims level transfer. Obviously, that you're just not going to be getting that at this part of the transfer cycle. But to get a player who can start quality snaps for you and who has a lot of experience, I think this is one of the bigger transfers they've had really since spring practice even started. I think you look at the transfer period that we've seen. Obviously, you bring in guys like Jared Verse, Trey Benson, Micah Pittman. Those are some big names. But D'Mitri Emmanuel could be one of those guys, you're 6, 7, 8 games into the season, and you're down a starting offensive lineman. He comes in handy, and he comes up huge for them. And that's kind of the projection I have for him for 2022.
No, and I think the major thing that you touched on is the fact that he has versatility. Like, he is a guard body. He is more naturally suited for that position. But we've seen offensive linemen go down across the board. It doesn't matter. It's not position specific.